Hi, everyone. So, I just want to put some facts here. Did we all know that the famous Hollywood actor Gerald Butler was actually a law graduate from a law school and had a successful career at a law firm before he decided to quit for his acting career? Jerry Springer, the popular television television presenter, who presented popular talk shows like The Jerry Springer Show and many others, was really the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio, before he switched his profession into television. And then Kenny Jeong, we famously know him from his really funny character in Hangover, right? Can you believe this man was a doctor before he switched on to acting? So what makes such famous people quit their well, high-paying, successful, secure jobs and go after something completely uncertain? It's a certainty within. That voice that comes from within you that tells you, go after this, this will work, comes truly when you're trying to go after something that you love and you want to follow, and that's something that you're very passionate about. Speaking of which, have you ever seen kids talking about cars? You know, next time, just go ask any kid what car he wants to own when he grows up. You will only hear the fanciest names in the car business, like Lamborghini, Bugatti, Audi R8, and Ferrari, etc. But if that's what everybody really wanted from life, why are Wagonrs and Altos the highest selling cars in India? Because somewhere in the middle of growing up, we all start to settle down for what's more practical, for what's more in our comfort zone, and what's more secure. As a kid, I was no different. I had, as you heard, I was pretty good at singing, and I had fancy dreams, you know, that I'll grow up to become a pop star, a rock star. I'll be at the center stage with the spotlight on me, singing to millions of audience who'll be shouting my name, by the way. So I had a very glorified picture of when I would grow up. But when I graduated, I found myself doing nothing different. I went after what was more practical, as per what people say, and further away from my dreams. I had a job which was perfect in front of a lot of people's eyes. And at the age of 23, I was the vice president of a multinational e-commerce business, picking up more than $1 lakh a month. And this is a dream job probably for almost every 23-year-old. But I eventually quit that job to go after my long-calling passion in music. It must be running through your brain, so let me say that out. I heard words like stupid, crazy, immature, impractical when I told people about my decision. But there were some people who called me courageous, bold. It was really neither. What it really was a necessity. A necessity to get out of the suffocation of not having to do what I really wanted to do. So even though I was good at what I was doing, I always knew this is not what I really want to do in my life ultimately. And during this time, I came across this super cool rock band from Swiss. They're called LYT. And that was the very first time I heard bagpipes being played in a band outfit. I mean, it just blew my mind away. I knew this was no admiration, you know, of the sound, because it left with me for days. I was so inspired that it left me a strong urge to go and learn the bagpipes. And so I was so determined that I want to learn this. I jumped up on the internet, looked up all about the bagpipes, got really excited, ordered myself my bagpipes. And I was so impatient that for days until my bagpipes arrived, I used to check about my shipment 10 times in a day. And when it finally arrived in Delhi, I had no patience to wait for it to deliver at my house. So I went straight out to the post office, got my bagpipes, and the drive that day back home was the longest ever because I just wanted to get home and get my hands on my instrument. So I got home, and without wasting a minute, I ripped open the package, like we do on our birthdays probably. And my family members were all standing in front of me, curiously waiting that I'm going to put all this thing together and start playing some tunes right away. And secretly, that's what I expected too. So I went ahead, I put everything together, and I started to play my instrument. But it did not play. And I don't mean a bad sound coming out of my instrument. I simply mean there was just no sound coming off it at all. I was surprised. I blew in the bagpipe again, I pressed the bag hard, I did everything I could, but it just didn't play. So I spent hours on it, trying to understand the mechanism, trying to, get more air into the bagpipes, literally, emptying half my lungs out. Because, bagpipes are not like guitars. See, in a guitar, you play the strings of the guitar and it immediately produces a sound. But by just blowing air into the bagpipe, sound's not going to come out. So finally, after spending hours, I ultimately did, manage to produce some sounds from the bagpipes. But those are horrible sounds, like a dying cat. And my dog would bark at me and run off from my room. Really, it was like, bam, boom, pee. And I was like, what the hell? This is not what I thought. It was like, this is not what I signed up for. And trust me, I was disheartened. I was shocked because my bagpipes were really, very, very expensive. And I started to ask myself all the wrong questions. Like, did I just waste my money? Can I ever play this instrument? Was this a wrong decision? And trust me, the more wrong questions I asked my brain, the more negative answers it kept giving me. Oh yes, you wasted all your money. I don't think you can ever play any instrument. You're not skilled to play any instrument, and so on and so forth. And it was when I ultimately, started to figure out that, the more negative questions I ask my brain, the more negative answers it's going to roll out. The key is to get your brain to work for you and not against you. Your brain is capable of answering any question that you throw at it. The key is to frame the right questions for it. And that's when your brain will start working for you and not against you. And when I found out this trick in life, a lot changed. I finally asked myself the right questions. How do I learn this instrument even without having a teacher? Because I never had a teacher until a very long time. I don't want to give up, and I do want to be one of the best playing this instrument. How do I do that? And that's when my brain started giving me productive answers with like, hey, why don't you go download an ebook? You know how to read music a little bit. Try to make that in use. Why don't you just randomly email some bagpipers from the bagpiping community and ask them for some help, some advice that's possible? Why don't you go over to Scotland and take that small little 5-day course and try to brush up your skills? And I did all of this. In the 2 years I went after all of these things. I taught myself the instrument to a great extent. I went over to Scotland, took the 5-day course because I was still working. And that was when I came back, I realized that this is what I really, really want to do in my life. This is what I want to make a career in. And I eventually quit my job. See, I'm telling you all this because a lot of you will soon graduate. And you may or may not end up where you expected yourself to end up. And when that happens, always ask yourself the right questions. Because asking the right questions could get you to be the next Tesla, and asking yourself the wrong questions would really help you pull yourself down. Today, I'm doing what I love the most. I have a YouTube channel called The Snake Charmer, where I put my bagpipe videos every now and then. I collaborate with multiple artists. These videos are seen by people from all around the world, and these are appreciated. A lot of you don't go after something that you really want because, see, I also fear this. We all fear this, that, oh, maybe that won't make me as much money. You feel that you won't get as much money as compared to what you're trained to do. But yes, that's absolutely true. Initially, you may not get a very big salary. Initially, you may be getting making very less money from what you're trying to do. But eventually, when you are following what you want to do and not what you should do, you will make a lot more than what you were trained to do. And giving you small examples of what really happened after I started following my passion is, a lot of Indian and foreign media were interested in what I was doing and started taking coverage of mine. So these are from MTV to Rolling Stones, certain things that I only dreamed of, and also a lot of Scottish newspaper dailies, and even BBC ultimately, BBC Scotland. So what I just want to tell you is that doing something with no obsession or love is only a temporary fix. It may be paying your bills, but sooner or later, you will have to and you will go on doing something you love. And why is it so important to go after and do something you love? It's because you're not just here to pay your bills and die. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.